A young boy sits in a packed stadium, his heart racing as the players step onto the field. The thunderous roar of the crowd shakes the air, the tension crackles like electricity, and the magic of football comes alive. It's not just a game, it's a universal language, a passion shared by billions around the globe. But have you ever stopped to wonder? Where did it all begin? How did this beautiful game, adored by so many, come to life? Today we'll take you on an extraordinary journey through time to uncover the origins of football, from its ancient beginnings to its meteoric rise as the world's favorite sport. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a thrilling tale of how football transformed from chaos into a global phenomenon, becoming the heartbeat of nations everywhere. Buckle up, because the story of football starts here. Our story begins thousands of years ago in a world far removed from the shiny stadiums and league trophies we know today. In ancient China, soldiers played a game called Cuju. Picture them kicking a leather ball filled with feathers into a net, honing their skills for battle. Little did they know, they were sowing the seeds of the world's most beloved sport. Meanwhile, across the world, the Greeks had Episkairos, and the Romans had Harpastum, rough and tumble games that tested strength and strategy. Fast forward to medieval Europe, and football looked completely different. It was wild, chaotic, and downright dangerous. Entire villages would join in, kicking and chasing a ball through muddy streets with no rules to hold them back. It wasn't just a game, it was a battle. Order amid chaos. But how did football transform into the organized sport we love today? For that, we turn to 19th century England. Picture schoolboys on grassy fields, each school playing their version of the game. Some allowed kicking, others permitted carrying, and a few had wrestling. In 1863, something remarkable happened. A group of men in London gathered to create the first official rules of football. They called themselves the Football Association. This was the moment football became more than a game. It became a sport. And here's a fun twist. One group wanted to keep carrying the ball, which eventually led to the creation of rugby. Football had found its identity. The journey across the world. As football grew in England, it began to spread like wildfire. British sailors, merchants, and soldiers carried the game with them to far-off lands. In Argentina, children played football in dusty fields. In Brazil, it became a passion, as players danced with the ball at their feet. Football wasn't just exported, it was embraced, transformed, and celebrated. By the late 19th century, it was no longer just England's game. It belonged to the world. The rise of professional football. Now, imagine a time when players couldn't be paid to play. Football was purely amateur, but in 1885, the Football Association made a groundbreaking decision. Professionalism was legalized. Players could finally earn a living doing what they loved. This era gave birth to iconic clubs like Manchester United and Arsenal. In 1871, the FA Cup became football's first official tournament, and stadiums began to fill with passionate fans. Football wasn't just a pastime anymore. It was a career, a spectacle, and a dream. The birth of international football. Let's jump to 1872. England and Scotland faced off in the first ever international football match. It ended in a 0-0 draw, but it was a historic moment. By 1904, FIFA was founded to oversee international competitions, and in 1930, the first FIFA World Cup took place in Uruguay. Can you imagine the excitement of those 13 teams, knowing they were part of something that would change the world forever? Every great story needs heroes, and football has had its share. Think of Pelé, the boy from Brazil who became a global icon, or Diego Maradona, whose brilliance lit up the pitch. These players didn't just play football, they inspired generations. And then there was television. In the 1950s, football entered living rooms, turning matches into global events. Suddenly, players became legends, and teams became symbols of national pride. As club football grew, so did the rivalries. In 1955, the European Cup was born. Later evolving into the UEFA Champions League, the ultimate battleground for the world's best clubs. Imagine the drama of Barcelona vs. Real Madrid or Liverpool lifting the trophy on a magical night. The Champions League isn't just a competition, it's a showcase of football at its finest. The future of football today, football is everywhere from crowded stadiums to dusty backstreets. It's evolving faster than ever. With technology like VAR and AI-powered analytics, the game is changing. But one thing remains constant: football's ability to bring people together, no matter where they're from. Football's legacy, from ancient soldiers kicking a leather ball to Lionel Messi dazzling millions. Football's story is one of passion, evolution, and unity. It's not just a sport, it's a language spoken by billions. And this is just the beginning. The beautiful game will keep growing, inspiring, and uniting people for generations to come. If you love this journey through football's history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Unveiling the DNA of Sports. Let's keep exploring the incredible stories behind the games we love. Until next time.